the roughest end.
Okay, Brian, I'm looking to see if Gare.
I haven't seen him yet.
Okay. Give him a minute.
I'll let you know as soon as he joins.
Okay. Can we unmute Linda Ellis?
Yeah. She may be able to unmute herself, but hold on.
Yep.
Hello.
Linda, do you have Gerhard's number?
Yeah,
Could you call him? I don't think it'd be inappropriate for me to call him, or
sure.
just see if he forgot or if he's late or whatever.
Just sent a message that said he's still on a job.
Can you ask him how long he'll be?
Yep.
Because there's no sense in doing anything if he can't be here.
Yeah. I sent a message. I'll call.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Bernie, he says he can do it at 7:40. Bernie?
He stepped away for a minute.
Hi, Brian. How are you
Hello.
doing?
Just fine.
You're doing a fine job. Hi, Dave Bramho. Hi, Bernie. He said that he can arrive at 7:40. Log on.
7:40. Okay. I hate to postpone and change the meeting, so I think what we'll do is we'll wait for Gare to show up. And in the meantime, Karen Foley's here, so we can have some discussion about the dates, and then we can bring Gerhard up to speed when he comes. So the meeting's not officially open. but I can certainly talk to Karen about like the dates that are gonna work to change the closing of the warrant and the annual town meeting date. Karen, did you look at that at all?
Yeah, I think you've gotten some emails from Brian Nazer as do you know how you're going to vote on that. What were your thoughts, Bernie, about changing the date?
Well, I think we have a problem getting the warrant together before the 21st as it stands.
I agree.
But we don't want to move things too far out either. So I know there was some concern that some people are going to be on vacation, which is fine. You know, we need to let them do that. But
I'm fine with any date in May. I have no idea what your finance board has, but I mean, if you just want to move it 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or if you're thinking all the way to June. That will be a discussion for you and Gare. Perhaps Tom Specht can weigh in. I don't know how many weeks you think you're going to need.
so the annual town meeting is typically on the 5th, correct?
Right. So you could move it to the 26th of May, keep it in May, and that gives you 3 more weeks. I don't know if anybody thinks that's enough time. You're getting close. The finance board has done a pretty good job.
Well, someone asked, Karen asked for my opinion. I had responded, figuring that rather than put the town in some kind of a rush and then make a mistake, I think personally that Wednesday, June 2nd would be a better alternative. It's early in June. Nobody's going to be going off on vacation until the kids get out of school. And that way it'll give us basically April's shot. That way it'll give us the month of May to get figures together for a few of the items that are in question. And make sure that the finance committee still has to go over our figures and say this is it. But like I said, personally, I think June 2nd.
Karen, is that a good day logistically for you?
Yeah, June 2nd is fine for me. So you would have to have, if you picked June 2nd, you would have to have the warrant posted by the 26th of May. The warrant should be closed to me by the 19th at the latest, maybe the 17th of May. And then you're going to have to get it to council too to review. Just remember, whatever date you pick, you got to have the warrant posted 7 days, the week before.
Okay. So I'm assuming that the selectmen's meetings have been set up in the past to correspond with the warrants so that we, you know, for the pay and all that stuff. So if I'm thinking correctly or looking correctly, it seems like the 19th would be a selectmen's meeting.
On May, yes, that's a payroll week. So yes, I would say there was a selectmen's meeting on the 19th.
Is that enough time? It's not. No.
Yeah, well, what do you mean by the 19th? To close everything and get
We'd have to close it before that. We'd have to close it on the 5th. Correct?
No. You would need to get it done by the 19th I think, to get the council to look at it.
Understood, but how many days does it need to be before the town meeting?
Only 7. So the
Counting the day of the town meeting?
Yeah, so it has to be finalized and posted and hung outside on May 26th. They have the meeting on June 2nd.
May 26. Okay, so if we closed it on the 19th, we're all set.
Yes, I would say so.
Does that seem to work for everybody that's involved with preparing articles and that for the, or submitting articles? This will be, we're gonna bring it up when Gerhard gets here to further discussion and a vote. Linda? Linda, unmute. Brian, is that Linda that has to unmute, or?
I got it. There are some outstanding things that we're still working on, so that would be good. Yes, that would be a really good date.
Okay. Tentatively, once we start the meeting and get Garen here, we'll see if we can get him to agree to these things, but, David, anything that's like outside of a meeting, kind of question?
Well, is anybody checking Kevin's emails? Is anybody requesting articles right now in his emails that we don't know about? I assume the select board is maybe checking and make sure nobody's asking for any articles.
I cannot answer that question.
Okay,
I wish I could.
because I don't want those people to get, get pushed off. If I don't know if they are requesting or not.
Dave, that's one of the reasons why we're looking to move it out a little bit, just to make sure that nothing gets missed or, swept underneath the rug somewhere that we're not aware of, so.
Okay, I was just hoping somebody was actually checking Kevin's emails to take care of unfinished business in town too.
This is just a rumor, but I had heard that the CAO has been showing up on occasion in his son's black car.
I can't, but that, I don't want to get into any discussion about along those lines at this point.
Okay.
So the meeting tonight was to try to get something together for the annual town meeting, to get the warrant prepared. There's some things that we just need to do regardless of what's happening in the community. We need to put our budget together and have an annual town meeting, and that's one of the reasons for this meeting tonight, to try to expedite that. So we got some ideas on the dates. When Gerhard gets in, we're gonna have some more discussion with him. Karen, second, the dates to have a election for a new selectman.
I know, and I know I had thrown a couple dates at you, but we also have to look at, it's not just when you call the election and then it has to be 64 days later at the earliest. I also have to backtrack 51 days. So 51 days from the date of the election is when the nomination papers close. So I was hoping sooner than later, and I had said that maybe we could have an election on June 15th. But after I checked the date and counted the days, that would mean nominations would close April 29th. And I think that's too soon. We can't put anything in the newsletter. We can't get information out that we're having this election. So in my opinion, that's just not, I don't know, anybody doesn't matter to me, I'll do whatever. If you go with like June 23rd, the last day to get nomination papers would be May 4th. If you put it out to June 28th, the last day to get nomination papers would be May 7th. Now, unfortunately, it's not unfortunately, but the state has a certain guideline and general laws that have been passed for running an election. And there's a whole time frame and schedule, which I did send you, Bernie, which I'm sure you've got there, of when things have to happen. So, 64 days is the shortest amount of time from the date you call for the election. But then again, we need 51 days prior to that date for the papers, for the last day for papers. So,
Tim, you had some input?
Well, Tim is happy to share with everyone that Tim made it to the Grand Canyon. He made it there this afternoon, but during the finance meeting last week, we were talking about dates, and the 23rd is the deadline for the newsletter, which is a Friday. So the plan is to make sure that everything that needs to be put together is going to be put together that weekend. On Sunday, we're going to be folding and getting that newsletter, and it should be at the post office the 26th, latest the 27th. So Karen, if the 29th, I heard that date, it would definitely be in the homes by the 29th if you think you need to try to get something in for this newsletter.
well, I will definitely be putting something into this newsletter that's coming out. But I still think that that doesn't give people enough time. They barely get it, and then they say, oh my God, I have to contact the town clerk in 2 days to get.
Yeah, for the nomination papers, right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
So what was the good day in June again, Karen?
Well, I was hoping to do as early as June 15th, but that doesn't look like it's gonna work. To me, it's just not enough notification.
You had mentioned 51 days to nomination, and you said that would be a May 4th date for the last day to get the nomination papers?
Yeah, so if I counted correctly, if the election was held on Wednesday, June 23rd, the last day to get the papers would be May 4th.
Does that work for you? Do you want to have the election on a Wednesday? Is that typical for you?
It doesn't make any difference to me what day of the week. And when you're calling for a special election, you can have it on any day because it's not in the bylaws, it's special.
Okay.
I mean, it could be the 24th, it could be the 28th, I mean. If it's on Thursday, June 24th, then the last day to get nomination papers would be one day more, so it'd be May 5th.
What if we don't have nomination? We just like do a sticker? Well,
It doesn't matter.
I'm just kidding. I'm just,
Those are guidelines that you gotta go through.
I am just kidding.
I wish we could put it on this election. That's what I wish.
We can't, we got to deal with what we got to deal with. So it looks like the May 4th gives a little bit of extra time for people to, to get their papers in.
Yeah.
And the June 23rd, I don't really see that as being a big problem at this point. Just keep in mind, we're going to be by the annual town meeting. So a lot of the necessary work that we would hope to have the third person there, he won't be there anyway.
There's
So,
the true. And so, and like I said, the earliest date that you could have it is June 15th, because that's the 64 days from tonight is June 15th. So you're already past the town meeting.
Okay. Tom, you wanted to mention something?
I'd just say personally, I think maybe you should go for the 28th or at least that week. Give people, this came as a sudden shock to a lot of people, and getting it in the newsletter and maybe get it into the newsletter for June, that there's going to be an election and the date. I think, I don't know, personally, I think the 28th or that particular week, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, might be a better way to do it.
Tom, the only thing with that is we're getting into the 4th of July area, for people for vacationing. And I'm sure people are going to want to take a vacation if they possibly can this year, but I'm listening, Tom.
Well, yeah, you're right, Bernie. Yeah, I think I recant. I think the 23rd would be a better deal.
Either the 23rd or the 24th, but
I'm okay with the 22. We'll have to discuss it with Gerhard and see what he thinks, but
okay.
it looks like those dates work. We'll have the business kind of finished up before the 4th of July. And I think that would be the plan. Tom, did you have something else?
Yeah, while we're talking generalities, how much has the selectmen been able to, and I know they're put at a handicap right now, but looked into, annex roof and library roof and the school's roof and the air handling. Now, I had been in discussion with Dan, and he says that the library has the money to do their roof, and with the patches and the duct tape, it might be imperative to get that one going now. We've got the money for it. I'm just wondering where the selectmen, the others will probably end up being articles, and then hopefully with a June 2nd town meeting, we can get some ballpark figures on the other things. I just wondered, how much progress you've made, maybe none because of the situation, but I was just curious, I'd like to see those articles. And I definitely personally would like to see the library roof done now, because we've got the money for it, and maybe even the air handlers.
I need to follow up on those things. I think it's premature to to put those out. The things we had at a selectmen's meeting last week, most of those things were in excess of $10,000, or we didn't have the right criteria for the bid. So there was a question about the library roof, about the prevailing wages. So my understanding is we asked for a new quote to include the prevailing wages. Mm-hmm. And the other ones that are over $10,000, that takes on another whole type of bidding. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see the contracts, so I can't really get into them. I'm going to try to get into the office and see if I can find those things. But I'm at a disadvantage right now. I don't want to make any decisions or speak too much on it until I actually see what we're talking about. So when Gary comes, I'm going to probably ask to skip over most of the things about the votes. I did put the Queen Lake project on because there was a potential that we may have to vote on that this evening, but I don't see Rick Tenney here, so I'm thinking that they don't need our vote. And if they do, we'll deal with it.
He just joined, so.
He just joined?
Yeah.
Okay. See if I can find it in here. Hey, Director Tenney, it's Bernie.
How are
So-
you doing, Bernie?
I'm doing, listen, we're not officially in a meeting. We're just having some, like a little workshop discussion, trying to get dates and stuff like straightened out and things that we need to address. Gear is tied up and he won't be available till 7:40, so we'll officially open the meeting and have any votes at that point. But I was explaining to the people listening that there was a question about awarding the Queen Lake Road project. Is that something, did we find out if we have to vote on that?
I have not gotten the official word from the engineering firm that
Okay.
they officially awarded the company as the low bidder. So I would say that can probably skip another week.
Okay. That would be the intention, anything that we can move until we can like clarify, like,
Yep. That could safely be moved.
yeah. And it's easier for me, once I have the agenda, now that I'm not looking at somebody else's, I have it on my screen, that I can go in and just move these to a different date.
Yep.
Instead of starting from scratch, so.
Yep.
So if they're on here, it's on here because something we have to deal with at some point in time, whether it's next week, the week after, or in 3 weeks from now.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
How's everything else at the school?
I haven't had a chance to go into school this week. I haven't gotten any more numbers. I haven't heard from Eastern AmeriGas. That was the last thing I was looking for the propane tank. If we can get Donnie Smith might be able to say if there's anything going on with the school right now at the moment. But I haven't there's nothing different from last week as far as I know. Everything is still going as planned.
Okay. Were we able to talk to the roofing company about like getting a new?
Yeah, I did send them an email. I haven't heard back, but I do know that the Chartier family lost I think the grandmother over the weekend. So they're doing a funeral, I think Wednesday. And so I think they've been a little bit tied up. That's why they haven't gotten back to us.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to follow up because there's some concerns obviously about that roof people were asking and.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna stay on top of it. Once that funeral goes by Wednesday, tomorrow I'll reach out to them again. Just knowing what we knew, I know they called to the highway today because there was a chance they weren't going to be able to get into the cemetery, but it ended up working out and everything came together so they can do their burial on Wednesday. So once that goes by, I'll reach back out to them again. And I'll definitely make sure I shoot you an email and let you know my findings.
Yeah, that's fine. We just, like I said, we just want to get that clarified, what the actual amount's going to be, and get something in writing.
Definitely.
Gerhard's with us.
That way we can vote on it, right?
Okay. I think you said Gerhard
Okay.
is with us now.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. Sorry about that.
Okay. So anyway, it's 7:30. We're going to open the Selectmen's meeting. Meeting's 7:30. Okay. So Gerhard, we were talking a little bit about a couple of different things in reference to dates with the people that are in the audience, just to see what dates could potentially work. We're talking about, I'm assuming you got a copy of the agenda?
I'm trying to get online right now.
Okay.
I didn't get one by Sunday, so I don't know when it came in.
You didn't? Did you look at it?
I did. I was online Sunday and there was nothing in here.
Oh, you know why? Maybe, see, I can't send one to you, so it would have to come, I think typically the CAO would send one to you.
Yeah, but he likes to send it to me on the day of.
Yeah,
Karen Foley sent it out, and I sent it out on Friday there. So look for Friday.
Did.
okay, so look at Fridays and see if you can,
Friday. I got meeting minutes. Town clerk. Oh, there it is. Huh. No. Oh, I didn't see it there.
well, now you see it.
You probably weren't expecting it this soon.
Yeah, it wasn't. Okay. All right, I see the agenda now. Okay.
So the things that we were talking, we're trying to find a good date for the, to close the warrant.
Okay.
Last week, we voted on the 21st, and then we lost the person that was supposed to put it together, went on vacation. So,
Yeah.
that being said, we think it's probably unrealistic to try to get it done for the 21st at this period.
I understand.
So, we're thinking of a new date, and we're not sure what you're thinking, but there was some,
I'm flexible with whatever you want to do.
you're flexible.
I am.
We're looking at closing it on May 19th seems to work.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we would post a warrant on the 26th. That would give us, in between the 19th and the 26th, we can get the thing drafted up and sent off to town council.
All
Hey,
right.
Bernie, just for all purposes, do you need to call the meeting to order with Gerhard here?
Well, I did. I said we're going to open up the meeting with Gerhard here. We can, as a
Okay.
formality, I can call it to order.
Open.
Okay,
Okay,
Gerhard?
double checking.
Yeah. Call to order, Gerhard, aye?
Yeah, fan dry eye.
Roll call, Fred, right? Okay. Mallow and I. So we're open anyway, but, okay, further discussion on this, that would bring us to a date that seemed to work, like Wednesday, June 2nd for the annual town meeting.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. So the motion's gonna be, first motion is to rescind a previous warrant closing date of the 21st.
April 21st, yep. Can we do it all in one motion, or do we need to do separate motions?
I think we better do it separately.
All right, so I'll move, do you want me to move that?
Well, we're gonna.
Or are you gonna move
we
it
can do
now?
that one- We can do that one in the same one. So I'm writing it down as I say this. So rescind the April 21st warrant closing date and move to May 19th?
Yep. I'll second that.
Okay. So motion's been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion on that from anybody? Anybody in the audience? Any concerns, questions? I don't see any. So we'll take a roll call vote. Fran Dreier?
Fan dryer eye.
Okay. Melvin? Aye. So that's voted. The second one was to move the annual town meeting date
Yep.
to June 2nd at 7 PM. Karen, does that sound right?
Yeah.
I think we need to say where it's going to be too. At the Phillipston Memorial School?
Auditorium, yep. Or gym, whatever you want to call it.
I think the Phillipston Memorial School gymnasium, I guess.
Okay, I'll second that.
Does that sound right, Karen?
Tom McEnany had sent you an email. And, he wanted you to say that you were gonna move the annual town meeting from May 5th, 2021 to June 2nd, 2021, in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 39, Section 9. That's the language that he had sent to Bernie.
Okay, so I'll move what she just said.
Trying to find out what pile of papers that's in. Okay, so I just need the Mass General Law. What was it, Karen? Do you have it in front of you?
In accordance with Mass General Law, or M period.
MGL.
Yep, Chapter 39, Section 9.
39, Section 9.
Yep.
(2021). Okay, so that motion's going to be to move the annual town meeting date from May 5th, 2021 to June 2nd, 2021 at 7 p.m. at the Phillipston Memorial School Gymnasium in accordance with MGL Chapter 39, Section 9.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion? I don't see any hands. Roll call vote. Van Dryer?
Van Dryer, aye.
Mellon, aye. Okay, so voted. We're going to do the annual town meeting on June 2nd. Next, there was about replacing the selectmen, the empty seat.
Okay.
And the dates that seem to work is to have the nominations close on May 4th
Okay.
and have an election on June 23rd. So before we vote on that, does anybody have any concerns or questions on?
I don't see any.
Does that work for you, Gerhard?
Yep.
Do you need anything else in that vote, Karen, for that one there? As long as we vote on it tonight, we're okay with the 64 days?
Yeah, so you can vote on it tonight, and all you're gonna do is vote to hold a special town election on June 23rd, 2021 for the open seat for selection.
Town election. So we only have to do the June 23rd date.
That's all you have to do. The rest of the dates are my problem.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so I guess the motion would be to hold a special election for the open selectman seat on June 23rd, 2021.
I'll
That
second.
sound right?
Yeah.
That was, okay, second. Any other discussion? Karen, as soon as we do this tonight, people can take out papers tomorrow?
Well, I don't have them ready yet. If they could give me a week.
Okay,
Or, the rest of this week, give me next week. Talk
It's okay. I was just asking. Okay, I don't see any hands up. So roll call vote, Van Dryer.
Yeah, fan dryer eye.
Okay, Madeline. Aye. So Gary, if you're looking at the other things, that's voted, by the way. If we're looking at the other things, we kind of got to go through some of these because we can't, and somebody asked me about the email issues that have been trying to get a hold of Kevin. Unfortunately, we can't get a hold of Kevin. The awarding the Queen Lake Road project, Director Tenney said that he hasn't got all the stuff back from the engineer yet, so he doesn't feel we need to vote on that tonight.
Okay, that's
The
great.
town hall painting, we have to move to the next meeting as the library roof, the fire department entry, the selectman's office wall, annex roof and repairs, because we don't have a copy of those contracts, so we're not even sure what they are, and I'm not sure they meet the requirements because they were in excess of $10,000. So before we start awarding things, I want to make sure we at least think we're doing things right, not knowingly doing things without advertising them properly, okay?
Yeah. I think that the annex roof repair, if we keep that separate, that would be less than $10,000.
Well, it may be, but we can't award until we actually have something in writing,
Yeah, I agree.
okay? And we don't have that right now. So I explained to the audience, I says, I have this now in a format that I can just go in and carry it forward to the next meeting. Once we deal with it, we can delete it and add something else, but we have some type of a format to create an agenda, which we didn't have previously.
Right.
Or I should say, we didn't have the access to that.
Right.
Okay, so there was one more thing that was carried back from another meeting under new business A, the Board of Selectmen's office assistant.
Okay.
So that was a selectman's secretary.
Okay.
I think we should move on advertising and filling that position because we need somebody in that office to answer to the select board so that in a situation like we're in right now, we can be getting information out of the selectman's office, somebody answering the phones. Even if it's not perfect, at least we can get somebody in there sooner than later that answers to the selectmen.
Okay.
So I would vote that we put together an advertisement, some type of an ad for a Board of Health, a Board of Selectmen's secretary, and
Okay.
get the ad in the newsletter. And if we can, maybe the Gardner News, something to see if we can get some response. There might be somebody in town that can fill that position.
Yeah, but I asked that we make up the ad rather than the CAO because whatever he puts in is kind of screwy.
We're gonna work on that. If anybody has any ideas, they can certainly send them to me and I'll look at them and try to incorporate it in there. But I want to try to get that in this month's newsletter, so we're not waiting another month.
Okay.
And that'll be something the selectmen will do. So, so
Paul has his hand up.
Paul has his hand up. Is he volunteering?
But Bernie, when you put the description in there, you want to make sure that they report to the selectmen and are given the tasks by the selectmen, not the CAO. I don't want there to be a conflict of interest with that.
Tasked by. Okay.
Reports to and assigned by the selectmen.
that was good. And if anybody else has anything along those lines, feel free to send them to me.
Well, I'd like to pipe up and have the person reply to the chairman of the selectmen only, or reply to the chairman of the selectmen by mail.
Good point.
However, I will say that the mail's been really, really slow lately. I mailed something from Baldwinville to go to Winchendon, and it took 21 days.
21 days. Ooh. I used to use that when the check was in the mail kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't work anymore. So.
No.
Okay, there was something else, Gare, that came up that I'm going to bring it up on the other business, not received 48 hours. And I'm not sure how I can do this, but we're going to try. I don't want to re-vote. We don't have to do that. Apparently there was an auto license given to Hearst Auto.
Okay.
And my understanding is he's having a problem because it doesn't have his name on it. The previous auto licenses had his name on it, doing business as Hearst Auto.
Yeah.
So I just want to, because we're going to change a document that's already created that just only says Hearst Auto, I'd like to vote that we make a correction and add the individual's name as it has been in the past, so that he can get his the dealer's plate. Apparently they won't give him the plate because it doesn't have the his name on it.
Right. We already had that problem with Cycle Design. That wasn't filled out correctly either.
Well, was that corrected, or?
It was, but they couldn't get their plates either. So, because whoever filled it out, I believe the CAO has been haphazard in doing his job.
Wait, so for whatever reason, it's incorrect right now. So to make the correction, we're going to add the individual's name, doing business as. Okay, so that's a vote that I'm asking for to make the correction to the document.
All right. So, you want me to make the motion, or do you want me to?
No, you can make the motion.
So I move that we change the Hearst Auto to Hearst Auto doing business as.
No, to his name. His name is James Hearst, doing business as Hearst Auto.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so motion's made, second. Any other discussion? I'm looking at David. You want to speak?
I believe that sample was in that email from 2020. It has his name and Hearst Auto on it. Otherwise, the registry won't accept it. There's a sample in that. There was an attached in that email that was sent. 2020 will show the correct way. And I believe James had a problem with it the year before and it had to get corrected, but he missed it this time and he should have looked at the license, but he assumed it was right. So it has to contain both names. So it has to be identical to 2020's. That would have been in the attachment, Bernie.
I seen a copy of that, and we'll use that. We'll use that as the template.
Thank you.
For the correction. I'm just trying. I'm going to try to get into town hall. I'm not sure where that is. If I can pull it up and add that in there, that's why it'd be helpful if we had a secretary to that could go in and dig that kind of stuff up. But
okay, thank you.
Anyway, so the motion's made, seconded. Linda, before we vote on this.
Take a copy, have the person take a copy with their phone or some tablet or something and get the exact wording on the slip from the registry of motor vehicles. I used to run those all the time. I was a runner at one time.
Yeah, we have we have exactly what we need.
Yeah.
So we just got to figure out how to get last year's wording onto the new document. So I got to go into town hall and see if I can get into a file, find the auto licenses, and then get the thing retyped with the correct or add the correct language to it, so.
We should be able to take a picture for you and just ship it to you. 2
Well, it's
seconds.
PDF, it's PDF format, so you're just gonna have to edit the PDF.
Can you do that, Linda?
Yep, if you can send it to me, I will.
Okay, I'm gonna probably take you up on that so we can get this resolved. Okay, so anyway, we didn't vote on it yet. There's a motion, seconded. All in favor?
Andrew, aye.
Andrea, aye. Mallow, aye. Okay, so voted. Is there any other business that we need to deal with that anybody can think of before we close the meeting? I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so we do have a meeting. We do have a meeting next week, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Linda?
Sorry. I was just thinking, like, if there was a moderator that was ill on the day of the town meeting, do we have a backup moderator just in case?
Good.
I think Tom Specht had his hand up. You said he was volunteering?
Well, no, but see, you'd have to pay me double because I'm the twice the size of the moderator. I just wanted to say something as an individual. And the question is, have the fire and burglar alarms been activated in the sense of, last time I brought this up, because of COVID, nobody could touch the keys, blah, blah, blah. And the more I thought about it, a little bottle of hand sanitizer there or spray sanitizer right by the keypad would solve this problem. And it really bothers me that these buildings are not being covered. And I don't know if they are now, and that's changed. But if they're not being covered by fire or burglar, then holy moly. And then someone will have to be the person redesignated to be the person that they call if something happens. They get an alarm. It's just concerned, and I bring it up again. And the last time it was because of COVID-19, but holy mackerel. I mean, like I said, real easy fix. $1.89 for one of those small bottles of sanitizer, and bing, bing, bing.
Okay, Dave had his hand up first. Dave Bremmel? Yep.
Wondering, weren't you planning on voting on the painting of the town hall tonight?
We don't, Dave, we don't have a copy of the contracts. We had 4 different contracts.
This is the issue with the administrative guy who's gone. Is that part of the problem?
That's a big part of the problem.
Okay. But
I don't know if he was around last week, but he abruptly just left the meeting, and the next day we were notified, me and Gare were notified that he was on vacation, that he had authorization from the chairman who happened to resign. So we're kind of at a loss. We're trying to put the pieces together, and everybody seems to be helping, working out. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to have this meeting tonight. So we're working on it.
I realize this is an issue with me. I've spoken to you about it before.
Yeah, I understand you have, and I've been working on it, trying to expedite it to get it moving forward, because we do have the money already put aside for it.
But the contractors are setting up their schedule for the summer, you know what I mean, during the painting season, and you need to get this done.
I totally agree with you.
Okay, all right. I know you're working on it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, can I just say something?
Go on.
Okay, so the fire alarm is always on all of the buildings. That's a 24/7 protection. Whether or not you use the keypad to set the alarms, the fire alarm is always connected. The only thing I have a problem with that is that I don't think the CAO has reached out to the alarm company, American Alarm, to pick up these PMS building yet, as we have requested multiple times. Because American Alarm covers all the other buildings, the fire department, the library, the town hall, all that other stuff. So, we also need to get the internet hooked up over there, because that would help with sending the signal through at the PMS. So I don't know why the CAO refuses to have that done as well. But I just wanted to respond to Tom about there is fire alarm coverage on all the town buildings, except for the school right now. That's it.
Let's see, Director Tenney, but I have one last comment.
Well, listen,
Me?
Yeah.
All right. The selectmen have every right to go into their own room, but I have a little concern in terms of an individual, whether it be Bernie or the selectman secretary or something. But initially, I think, well, Bernie, you mentioned a couple times tonight of going in there and trying to find something. I think you should be accompanied by someone. And that's my own personal feeling. I wouldn't go in there alone.
okay, thanks for the concern, Tom. Let's Director Tenney, please.
Yeah, just as far as the communications connections over at the elementary school, if you'd like, I can try to reach out to the Narragansett Superintendent's office and find out what was over there for, I think it might have been Comcast, and I can confirm.
Yeah, it was.
And any information I get from them, I can try to call Comcast and see if I can get things moving to get Comcast in there to get something, at least get an appointment to get things hooked up for the emergency management and for the school and for the alarms and stuff like that. I can try to get that ball rolling. I don't know if I can get permission. Depends on who's in charge of the account, if they'll even let me. But I can try to get some information if you'd like.
If you can, I think Linda had some information on that. Linda Ellis.
Yep, I can send it to Director Tenney if you'd like.
If you could, please, that would be helpful.
Yeah,
That'd
and
be
the-
good.
The cable guy can help you too, Rick. I'll send you his information too, okay?
Okay. And just one quick question. Did the chairperson that resigned, did he forward the information to you that there was a vacation being taken? Just out of curiosity.
I haven't seen anything in writing, with the exception of Kevin stating that it was approved by the chair, which is interesting because by the time he told us, the chair wasn't the chair. So,
I
but
think
that's another issue. We'll deal with that down the road.
it would be good to at least have that information in your file.
Yeah, well, we're working on it. These things are they get a little complicated. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing and protect everybody. So,
Correct.
Paul?
Did anybody talk to Chief Dodge of when was he informed, because he's the backup for the CAO?
Yeah, we're working on all those things. So don't have faith in me and Gerhard. We're going to.
Oh, I have faith in you guys, 110%.
We're going to. Phillipston's going to be okay. We're going to run the town, and the people are going to be okay. It's not. We got a little hiccup, okay? And Don, you.
Yes, I just wanted to say, I've been a member of this town, been living in this town for over 35 years. And I just want to say how proud I am of all the people last week, the way that things were dropped on you guys and how the people of this town just stepped up. And my hat's off to you guys for doing a good job. I mean, you've got a good handle on this, it appears. We're moving forward. You didn't get hamstrung. All I can say is thank you to everybody who really steps up. That shows what little towns are all about.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you, Don, for having faith in us guys that we can pull through all this stuff and move forward and get through this budget season and get everything operating again. So, okay. Rick, did you have another question? I seen your hand back up. Rick Tenney?
Yeah, no, I'm good. The hand stayed up. I'm good.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we can use all the help. Anybody has some time if they want to pick up some of the slack, because there's going to be plenty of things to do. And I know this is Tim from the middle of the.
It's actually Tim's wife still here in Phillipston. There was one comment that I heard about moderator running the town meeting. Karen, you can confirm that yeah, Karen's still there. If I'm understanding correctly, the special town meeting on June 23rd is only for voting the selectmen's position. The election, we are still having the election on May 17th, correct, Karen? Yeah. So then that means that on May 17th, there would be a moderator voted in. So that moderator would be running the June 23rd meeting. Am I correct in understanding that?
The June, let's step back a minute. That would be the June 2nd meeting.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The June
that's right.
23rd is the election.
That, oh, for the selectman position only, correct?
Yeah, but we don't need a moderator for that.
No, but the
June 2nd meeting, which would be after the annual election. Is that what you were saying?
yeah, so the election is actually May 17th and then the town meeting is June 2nd. So whoever gets voted in as moderator May 17th would be running the June 2nd meeting. Am I correct?
That would be the proper procedure, yes.
Yeah, because usually we would have the town meeting first, but we're changing that.
That is true.
Yeah. So, we
So
don't know who the moderator is going to be because there's going to be an election on May 17th.
And I probably should know this, but Karen, you can probably tell me how many people are running for moderator?
Is she muted?
No,
Oh, maybe she's not at her computer.
she probably fainted with all the turmoil.
No. Hey, you know what? But we'll help Karen too if she needs help. Absolutely.
Everything's going to be fine. We're going to
Yep.
work. With it.
All right. So if anyone, that
Does
sounds
any Tom? Do you happen to know?
No, no. Oh, who's running?
Correct.
There's two people running for
There
moderator.
is. Okay, that's all I want to know. If there was more than one.
well, my nephew is running, Jared McDonald Borbo. I reached out to him and he's a young man. He's very professional. He runs meetings for his job and he's not involved in any other boards or committees in the town. And I just thought he would do an awesome job as moderator. So I reached out to him and he's going to run. So vote for Gerhard McDonald.
Okay, we have to stop like now on that issue because we
Hey, girl.
can't recommend people for.
I do have
Meeting.
Okay.
I do have a personal question, and if Karen's back around, how long is the term that was left for John to serve?
Next year. It'll be up-
1 year.
Yep, 2022, May.
Okay, so you're all set, Tom?
Yeah, I'll get my papers.
Okay.
Ah,
Anyway, I think we're all set. We'll see everybody like next Wednesday. Gare, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn?
Okay, motion's made and seconded by roll call vote. Van Dryer,
Fan dryer, aye?
Mello, and I. We are adjourned. We will see you, everybody, next Wednesday night, okay? Thank you.
Bernie, do you want me to create a new meeting for next week, for Wednesday?
If you can, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll do that now and send it to you.
And I want to thank you for helping us out tonight. It was,
Brian, good job.
it takes a lot off us, and I'm glad you didn't cut in and cuss us out or anybody, but
No
went
problem.
smooth, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Bernie.